want to see you happy.
I can tell that you fake by your energy. I know if I let it, you'll probably take me to the devil. That makes you my enemy. I'm trying to improve on the inner me.
Let's see what we got on the list of things to talk about. Breaking down society's standards and how to find true happiness and fulfillment in life. One thing I would say, don't get too wrapped up on society standards. Please don't. Please don't, because that's the biggest trap in the world. So many people got fed that situation. And especially if you was black and brown, you got fed that standard and you bought into it, because if you were black and brown, historically, you didn't have as much as our white counterparts. So you wanted to just feel like you were worth something. That's why so many people wanted to have a house. And I'm not mad at having a house. But what people didn't realize is if you don't make enough money to have the house, you just got a big weight. You got a big debt. Yeah, you got something that you own. Yeah, you got something that you own, but you got to be able to be around long enough to own it. You got to have the money coming in long enough for that investment to pay off. If you're not in that situation, it's just a big debt. But see, if you don't know about finances, you wouldn't know that. You know, so breaking down society's standards. What is society standards? Because those change all the time. Live by your standard. What do you want? What makes you happy? You want to be a YouTube blogger? Be a YouTube blogger. You don't got to go to college because your parents thought that was the only way. You got to understand something. A lot of us, we've been told things from our parents and from their parents' parents because they only had the knowledge of the time. A college degree don't even pay you as much as it did 5 to 10 years ago. Can you make more money than the average? Yeah, but then that depends on what industry. There was a time where you could go to school for graphic design and make good money. Now, a graphic designer just has to have a phone and access to the App Store. There are a lot of people that went to school for graphic design that's not working in their field. That doesn't make that degree bad, but what it does mean is you got to do what makes you happy. Because if you do what makes you happy, you're going to always find a way to make some money. If you wanted to be a graphic designer in that example, right? If you saw that there wasn't any rewarding jobs, guess what? Social media is a rewarding job. And if you really love graphic design, you're going to take that love and you're going to start your business on social media. Because you really love it. See, when you really love something, you don't care about what society standards are. Fuck them. Who are they to tell me my happiness? That's how you got to think. And I get it. If you're growing up in the house with your parents, you only know what they show you unless you got friends, who can expose you to new things, right? And then they don't know nothing because they're your friends, So your parents are going to a lot of times have a better insight than you. So you feel compelled to do what they tell you to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, you're going to get old enough to start seeing the world for what it is. And more importantly, you're going to get old enough to see who you really are. And it's then that you can determine what is your true happiness. Me, I want to be financially free. That's my true happiness. I don't mind working. I just want to be able to do it on my time. That's what I want. What do you want though? Do you, and better yet, a better question I'd like to pose to you. Do you want whatever it is that you want? Is it because you want it? Or is it because somebody else told you you should want it? See, this video was about breaking down society's standards and how to find true happiness and fulfillment in life, nigga. Excuse my curse words. But, nonetheless, finding your happiness in today's standards. First things first, stop thinking about today's standards. Because they were never really built for your happiness. Standards are always made to keep people in check. Some standards are good. Some standards are not worth anything. But fundamentally, standards are always made from one person to apply to another person. Can your happiness be obtained by following standards? It can, depending on what it is you want out of life. But that's why I said earlier, what is it that you want out of life? You have to identify that. Because when you identify what makes you happy, then you can figure out what are the standards that you're going to live by. Because I promise you this, if you base your happiness off the American dream, you are rolling the dice. You got a better chance of winning $1 million at the crap casino in Las Vegas. You might as well be a gambling man or woman. Because the American dream itself is a product that was sold. You don't know what's going to make you happy for real if you're going off of that. Just so you know, the American dream was always built by corporations. Because the American dream had a certain specific person in mind who did a specific thing that would work for a specific company. So when it comes to breaking down what is true happiness and finding happiness and fulfillment in today's society standards, if you try to find it based on that, you're already lost. You already won't find the happiness because you lost the game before you even played, because you played the wrong game. And sometimes in life, the best way to win a game is to not even play. Don't look for other people to determine your happiness. That's always been a losing game. And it always will be. Find what makes you happy. If it ain't right for you, it ain't right. I'm Real Talk Tony, and this is Real Talk for real people.
I can tell that you fake by your energy. I know if I let it, you'll probably take me to the devil. That makes you my enemy. I'm trying to improve on the inner me.